Maura, we've been together for a long time now, and you brought me, some pretty impressive guests. And of course, Power of the Purse. I sent you the laughing cartoon of Artie Johnson when he's beating the living daylights out of the woman on the park bench. I said, that's the Power of
Oh,
the Purse. I knew she'd remember that. So Maura, I half jokingly said that, if you could get a hold of our next guest, who's the keynote speaker this year, over the top. I'm sure it's because it's the 100th anniversary of United Way, right? That you went out of the. So Maura,
Yeah.
tell us who we've got here. We've teased our audience enough.
Yes, we are so excited to have a really special guest with us today, and it is the Rita Moreno. We are just thrilled to have her on air with us, and she will actually be here in Hartford at the Convention Center on June 6th as our keynote speaker for Power of the Purse. So a little bit just about Rita's many, many accomplishments. She has won all 4 of the most prestigious awards in show business: an Oscar, a Tony, 2 Emmys, and a Grammy. Her countless credits span more than 7 decades, beginning with Broadway and her debut at age 13. Miss Moreno has starred on Broadway and in London's West End and appeared in more than 40 feature films and has countless television shows. And she is a household name, the name that came up for us at United Way when we knew we would have the chance to have her join us at Power of the Purse is Icon, and she certainly lives up to that. She's the recipient of the Peabody Career Achievement Award and the Kennedy Center Honor for her lifetime contributions to American culture. She was also honored by her peers as the 50th recipient of the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. She also cares so much about the community. She has been the Grand Marshal for the Rose Parade and the National Puerto Rican Day Parade. And so we're really happy to have her help share a bit about our mission here at the United Way. Last, but certainly not least, Rita has received the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President George W. Bush and the National Medal of Arts by President Barack Obama. So truly so grateful to have her in our presence today and to spend a little bit of time answering some questions about what our listeners and our attendees at Power of the Purse can expect to hear from her on June 6th.
wow, what an introduction.
Holy Toledo.
Wow, you didn't even come up for air. I'm so impressed.
Oh,
And
Rita, I
thing is,
handed this one off
you're-
to her, Rita. I handed this off to Maura. I said, I can't believe this bio. I'm giving it to you to introduce her.
wow. So what can I do for you, Guy?
Well, I guess, the first question I'd like to ask you, Rita, is, looking at all the things you've accomplished and, you're hitting the stage at, on Broadway at 13 years old. I mean, I'm a stage rat myself. I love live theater. I guess that's why we do live radio, because anything can go wrong and you have to work your way out of it. But with this whole career, Rita, is there something that you say, yeah, if I can just get on that shot to the moon next, I'll be all set. What do you say at this point in your life? What are you trying? Is there anything else, or what's the next thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. And the answer may not surprise you. I just want more of the same.
Yeah.
I love what I do. I love actors.
Mhm.
I love theater. I love watching actors. It is one of the great joys of my life to remind myself that I'm one of them, because very often I really carry on like a fan. And I just love what I do. I'm so lucky to be able to do what I love and actually get paid for it.
Mhm.
Imagine that. So I have no complaints whatsoever. I'm a very, very lucky woman. And I say that because I always think of myself as a Puerto Rican person.
Mhm.
So when I say lucky, I know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
And I'm not being modest. I am lucky because I came at a time in films, particularly, when nobody of my ilk had opportunities at all, at all. I grew up taking dance lessons, all kinds, tap, ballet, toe, and a talent scout literally saw me perform at a dancing school recital. and came backstage and gave my mother his business card. And he said, I think Rosita may have a future in
Wow.
films. I mean, I almost wet my knickers. Can you imagine? I mean, imagine that then. This was a long, long time ago. And that's how it began.
Wow. Were you living in New York, and when did you get to New
I was
York?
in New York, yeah.
Huh?
I came to New York from Puerto Rico, as many Puerto Ricans do. That's the first stop, even if they're planning to go somewhere else, Chicago, California, wherever. And New York was the place where my mom just said, it's New York, it's like a country, it's like the land of opportunity. And that's where we were for a very long time until this MGM thing happened, this MGM Talent Scout. And then about a year later, we went to the West Coast, and there I was under contract to the studio of my dreams. Any child who danced and sang and recited, because we recited then, we didn't act. We recited. We would do poems and things. I think that I shall never see a poem lovely as a tree.
Oh, oh my
And
God.
but he saw me at a dance school recital, and he just thought, this is MGM fodder, because she dances. And he had me meet Mr. Louis B. Mayer, who was in town at the time. And my mom and I tried really, really hard to make me look like Elizabeth Taylor, who was my
Mhm.
we did the waist cincher, because Elizabeth had this tiny waist, and we did a few enhancements. We tried to.
Oh, I wish I could see that on the radio right now, Rita.
I just said we immediately know what that means. And
Mhm.
interestingly enough, the first thing Louis B. Mayer said, my God, she looks like a Spanish Elizabeth Taylor.
Wow.
And literally, we visited for about, I don't know, about 20 minutes. And he said, young lady, how would you like a contract with MGM? And I'm just amazed that I didn't wet my knickers.
Mm, mm, mm.
Just, I was flying across the room. My dream. Imagine this little girl from Puerto Rico was
Oh my
going to
God.
MGM Studios.
Incredible. So Maura, tell us a little bit how really how Rita ties in with the whole vision of Power of the Purse. Maybe you two can explain that to me. I'm a little bit, you're more up to speed on it than I am.
That's a good idea.
Absolutely. So the whole idea behind Power of the Purse is to offer women in our region in central and northeastern Connecticut an inspiring opportunity to connect with one another and to empower other women. And the whole purpose behind this event is to raise funds to support financial opportunity centers in Hartford. And those financial opportunity centers are places where women and families can go to really work on their financial picture and hopefully achieve financial security. And we know, right, that 40% of households in our region are struggling to make ends meet. We know that a huge proportion of those are single female-headed households. And so this mission of helping people achieve financial security is just the cornerstone of what this event is all about. We had a group of women come together and say, we can do something about this. We're going to hold a great event to raise funds to make sure that people are able to make more than ends meet. And so it's all about finding someone that can really inspire our audience, inspire our guests, inspire our sponsors, and give them a great afternoon.
Making connections, possibly.
Making
Right?
connections, exactly.
I want to ask you something. Do we have a moment?
Sure. Hey, Rita, we'll stay here all day. This is your call. Are you kidding me? I'm with Rita Moreno. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Rita Moreno, I've said this before, and I'm going to stop because this is like, I'm staring at you going, first of all, Elizabeth Taylor, she had a long road, but you right now, you look like you're about, I don't know, 71, 72. And with the purple, I wish you could see the purple streak in
I
the
am
hair.
92. And
God.
now listen, so here's what I want to ask you regarding the United Way. Many years ago, there was a bus, and I got involved with this, and God, did I love doing that.
Mm.
There was a bus that came into town, into different towns in America, that had a huge bus, by the way, that had closets full of clothing for women. But the idea of the clothing that was chosen by, whoever thought of this, a brilliant idea, was to help a woman dress for an interview.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that was the United Way. Who knows? Because it sounds so much like or what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's very possible, certainly. I mean, we're all over the country, right? And we certainly, for all of us, financial stability and helping people get good jobs is a huge part of what we do. Yeah.
Anyway, I would like to meet some of the mucky mucks. I hope a couple of them are there in Connecticut, because I would love to bring back that idea and be the name behind it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Wouldn't that be fabulous? Because I can tell you, at the time that we did do this, which was a bunch of years ago, women showed up, and they went home with an outfit that they loved, that was good for interviews. And I just think it's time to do something like that again. It would be fabulous.
Yeah, I totally agree. And so I think you can see why we picked Rita as our speaker, right?
Wow.
We were looking at, obviously your star power is incredible and speaks for itself, but someone who really cares about the mission, who cares about women and empowering women, and who could really help us deliver a message about why this really matters.
Well, good. Now you've got me really excited, because my just being there and speaking is not half as exciting to me as being there, speaking, and possibly starting something. God, that would be great. Wouldn't that be great?
What was it like,
It
Rita,
would be.
with your growing up the way you did, Rita? What was it like when you got your first, sizable check and you said, okay, did you feel that independence? What did you do? Did you start banking, or did you start spending?
My first sizable check really came with my first MGM contract. And I think I was getting $200 a week. And that was an enormous amount of money. Just, I was under contract. I think it was $200 a week. And I mean, I was rich. And my mom had a new baby, and we didn't have a father for that baby. So that helped a great deal. But you can imagine, and then I had a contract that went up to $500 a week, and then it would go up to $750 a week, which is nothing. When you think of a big organization like Metro Goldwyn Mayer, they could afford that and way, way, way more. But nothing went into the bank for a while. Everything got spent because we didn't live in LA, so we moved there. And that right away, it meant we had to find a little cottage or an apartment. We found a little cottage in Culver City where MGM was. And that's where the money went for actually almost a whole year, because we would get it and spend it. It wasn't that much. We just thought it was.
Well, I would imagine, Rita, that, through all the years, I can't even imagine how much you've raised with your, tying in with people in different events and different charities. What
Well,
about
Lin-Manuel and I did that for Puerto Rico after the hurricane.
Oh,
And we raised a bunch of money. But a friend of mine had a great idea. Actually, it was my manager. He said, why don't we he had found out about this. Why don't we buy some, on our dime, buy some water purifiers. But they were, what do you call them? They weren't electric. They were. So that's what we got. We got a whole bunch of those and passed them out to people who were having electricity problems in Puerto Rico. So, there are things it's amazing. I have a friend who did something else. She bought a whole bunch of panties and brassieres in all kinds of sizes, because when you're out of your home and it's flooded, everything is shot. So, there's so many things people can do that don't require hundreds of thousands of dollars as a means of helping out. And Lin-Manuel, of course, is awfully good at that kind of thing too. So's his papa. His papa's amazing.
So when you look at let's say that you weren't at this point in your life yet, and you're a businesswoman or just starting out and trying to think about being a businesswoman, you're going to be in this room with some heavy hitters, some very philanthropic people, some executives, some owners of companies, some CEOs. If they're walking around trying to network or just trying to, make some connections, how would you recommend that some of these folks do that?
You have no choice. You really have to actually speak.
Mm-hmm.
You have to speak up and say, hello, my name is Elvira Lopez,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like very much to open a small business. And are you the right person to talk to? And if not, can you tell me who to talk to at this event? And what do I do? It's that simple. You may be shy, you may not want to do something like that, but that's why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing that if you're there, it's because you do want help. And this can be very exciting. I love the idea of it.
How many years, Maureen, Maura, have you been doing? I just combined your names. How many years have you been doing the Power of the Purse with your-
14 years. And really, this group, this event is what started what are now 4 financial opportunity centers in central and northeastern Connecticut. Because women came together and said, we want to do something important and we want to help other women. And so we're really excited for this year's event. We're so grateful to you, Rita, for joining us and for
I couldn't be
speaking.
happier. I'm very flattered and proud that you asked me. Thank you. And I really am going to bring up the idea of a bus. Maybe
Yeah.
we could do something along with the United Way that could be helpful in some venture like that. God, do I love that. And I can promise you that I would show up.
Oh yeah, and
I'm
amazing.
I'm sure with the whole community connections thing that WTIC has been doing with the United Way for more years than I could count. I'm sure that's something that they'd like to be able to get involved in and get the word out about that.
I would love to do that. Gosh, and it's like hands-on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really hands-on. That would be fabulous.
Getting right
I
out
love
there.
it. My wheels are turning.
Are
I've got
they?
ideas.
Are they?
Yeah, I've got ideas.
good,
So
good. That means I piqued your interest.
you did, absolutely.
Boy, I
Okay.
tell you, just being able to look at you're 92. I'm going to say that again because I can't believe it. But
You know what? I can't either.
you feel great, right? You're doing what you love, right?
I feel good. Yep.
Boy, what I'm want to point out
Knees are shot, but then that was
Oh,
acceptable with all the dancing.
Right.
I know mine are shot and they're not from dancing. I shouldn't have my knees shot when I'm sitting behind a microphone in a studio. But what I have to admit that your brain is just spinning with new ideas all the time. And I would venture to say that when you come to Power the Purse, your mind is going to be spinning in there. And I'm sure you're going to be working that room and getting to meet some of these young business women, as well as maybe I'm sure there's a lot of big shots there. They're going to want to try to rub elbows with you and pose for and such.
Right. Well, I hope so. Anyway, now I'm really excited. Now that this wonderful woman here has decided that she's excited at the thought of something I just suggested. That's terrific.
Rita, you can't
Yes.
believe see, the whole thing is Maura and her team put together an amazing show every month. WTIC has been around for almost 100 years, and it's all about getting back to the community on Saturday morning. So we've been doing this show together for a long time. She comes in with so much information and so many impressive guests. All I have to do is be careful and let Maura carry the ball, and I won't mess anything up. But Maura, for our listeners more that really want to get involved and there's still tickets available, or why don't you give us all
Yes.
the specs, all the skinny on it?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
hey, you hear that, everybody? There are tickets available. For Pete's sake, show up. Get your booty over there. Yeah,
Exactly.
We're really going to feel so encouraged. That's the thing. Once you're there, and I know many of you are very shy and don't know how to deal with that, so just show up. Show up and watch other women who are as shy as you doing their thing. And you'll kind of get the idea, and then maybe you can sidle over and say, excuse me, my name is so and so, and this is exciting, but I don't know how to do it. Help me out. anybody there will want to help you out because that's why they're there, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's awesome. It's awesome to keep in mind. But you know, I also know that Maura, from what you were saying, there's going to be a lot of other things there as far as you're going to have auction items, and you're going to have. I saw here that there's going to be a pre-event networking thing. What's that all about?
Yes, so we have networking for the first part of the event, right? So there will be networking to Rita's point. From 11 to 12, you can meet other women in the community, leaders, people like you who might have that key, might be that connection that you need, right? For the opportunity that you've been waiting for. We'll also have a silent auction, which has a ton of amazing items, of course, purses, because we are Power of the Purse, but many other great items for yourself or for people in your life, and all of the proceeds support the financial opportunity centers that we've been talking about today. So as Rita said, you don't want to miss this event. You will want to be there.
Laura,
Yeah.
I know I'm interrupting, but I know
No.
No, that's okay.
our time is almost up. I'm going to bring 2 auction items,
Amazing.
some personal ones. Okay.
That's awesome.
Oh,
Yes, we would love that.
Now, I'm not 92 for nothing. I'm going to forget I said that.
we've got you on tape, Rita.
Auction items with me. All right.
Thank you so much.
You're on.
I
Thank
love it.
you. We
You know,
appreciate that.
like
They
that.
And so
they will be personal items.
I love it. No, thank you. We really appreciate that.
Shoes or a purse or something like that.
Wow, I can't.
Amazing. That'll fit perfectly. And so, I mean, I think our listeners have heard what they need to hear. They need to be at Power of the Purse. We're going to have even some personal auction items from Rita. So visit unitedwayinc.org to get your ticket today. Don't wait.
Okay.
Rita, you're the best, and I can't begin to tell you.
are.
I'm holding on to this tape myself, and if I ever need a little inspiration, which I do about 4 or 5 times a day, I'm gonna make sure. This has been beyond an honor. I'm 68 years old. I spent a lot of time watching you, and just all the way back to West Side Story, Be Still My Heart. Huh?
Steve, I hope you're going to show up at the event.
Yes.
I want to meet you and I want to take photos with you.
Oh yeah, well I'm going to be there because
We'll make sure.
Yeah, my wife already told me that she's going, so now if I can tag along, I mean, I definitely want to do that. Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
Must come too. Okay, very good.
Yes.
Okay, we're all locked in. All right, Maureen, anything more?
Laura,
I can't believe it. I've never done this. I'm
I know.
blending your 2 names together.
It's okay.
All right.
Okay. It's the
Maura,
Zoom.
is there anything
It's
else
the
that we
Zoom.
wanted to add before we go?
No, just thank you both for the time today, and we'll see everyone at Power of the Purse.
okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you.